What's up, guys? It's Showtime from Showtime Shredded. Just got done doing some deadlift and drinking a post-workout drink that's available on ShowtimeShredded.com. 610 deadlift today at 221. I was 235.4 last week when I pulled 605, and I tweaked my back with 500 without a belt, which that's why I always recommend you guys use a belt once you get to moderate weight. Because once you pass light and enter that moderate, you're gonna be tweaking stuff possibly. So that's just a good example why I've done 495 without a belt several times. So I figured 5 pounds more, it's just a chip. What's the difference? And it tweaked it a little bit. Threw the belt on, had no issues. So definitely recommend a belt. You know, superhuman people like Michael Hearn, who's been doing it without a belt for years. It's different. He's used to it, but I would recommend to you guys, unless you know for damn sure it's not going to cause you any problems, I would definitely recommend a belt. You know, I wouldn't recommend taking any time off, though. A lot of times, you know, people will recommend, you know, why don't you take a day off or two, and I might do a day or two maybe, but they'll say to take a month or two off of training. And you know, why would you do that? You know, all that time and effort you put into the training, you know, it's not an option for me. I mean, for some people they can, you know, they've worked hard, they're burned out, whatever. But when you're addicted, it's a lot different. Just to give you an example, I mean, if I were to tell you, you know, take a month or two off of sex, don't have sex for a month or two, you're gonna say that's crazy. Some of you are going to say, well, I don't care, I don't like it anyways, or I don't care one way or the other. Or some of you poor bastards just can't get it even if you pay for it. So I get that, you know, some of you are already used to it. But what about no beer or alcoholic beverages for 2 months? Well, those of you that don't drink are going to say, well, I can do that. And then how about not mowing your lawn for a month or two? Or how about not taking a shower for a month or two? And if you're just an insane person, you can do any of those things. Take away oxygen for a month or two, and you're going to say, well, Showtime, I can only go like a few months, a few seconds to a few minutes, but without oxygen I'll die. Aha, that's a magic formula. So now you understand that when you're addicted to something like the iron, and you're forged by the iron, or whatever addiction you have, you're going to want that more than just as bad or close to as bad as you want to breathe. And if you don't take it that seriously, unfortunately, it's hard to be successful if you're not addicted to success. Whether that be just being in shape, if you consider that being successful. Some people feel that's a waste of time. They feel like finance is the most important thing. Okay, well, if you're dedicated to finances and being successful in that era, you're probably going to have to be addicted to working hard and grinding, unless you're just a smart motherfucker that did all the right things and have a job where you're just making huge bank with normal hours. That usually just doesn't happen without a lot of hard work. And even then, you know, even if you got it easy, you got a 40-hour-a-week job and you're making 6 figures or whatever, those people have paid their dues and worked their asses off through college and special degrees, or just have a special talent and they don't have to work hard anymore, but they did at one point. Unless you're willing to do what other people aren't willing to do, you're probably not going to go any farther than mediocrity, and that's only if you're lucky a lot of times. Because most of the time you're not going to be mediocre even without some kind of work ethic. Because most people have at least the mindset, okay, I'm going to go to work today, I'm going to put in my 8 hours, and if they're like a mindless drone, there's a lot of people who have that grind mentality to at least do that, whether it be construction or whether it be a 9-to-5 job. And most people can't do those types of jobs anymore. There's weird ass hours nowadays. A lot of times it takes 2 incomes to make it. So unless you're really willing to grind, you're probably not going to live comfortably. You got to be willing to be uncomfortable to live comfortably. That's just with any area of life, and I know that's a fact for the gym. You're not going to be able to have a physique that you're going to like unless you're willing to put in the work. So unless you're willing to do that, you know, forget about it. You know, it's got to be life or death mentality, whether it's business or whether it's gym, you're going to have it's a life or death situation that I have to eat this way, or I have to train this way, or I have to put in X amount of hours, or I have to wake up at 0 dark 30 to freaking go to grind on the books like nobody else is going to do because they're going to want to sleep. I like Arnold's philosophy. If you got the 24 hours in the day, you sleep for 6 hours, you got 18 more. If you think of the people that have to sleep 8 to 12 hours, those poor bastards are behind because they don't have enough time to get shit done. So